happening, everyone, and welcome to the show. Hope all is doing well. Just chilling. Can you guys hear me okay? Uh, guess that's all right. Sorry, I was like messing around with a bunch of shit. So, yeah. So there's that. There's so much testing going on, talking about different stuff, talking about different theories. So, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I was just kind of here's the thing, Deb. I got so many things running. Um my audio system is so complex. Um when I'm messing around with different testing and stuff, I have so many things going from one place to another, so I'm switching stuff around. I'm always have to switch stuff around. Um because I'm doing so many different things. It's crazy. I have one thing feeding into another, into another, into another, and then I have to combine them all. So yeah, it's a little nutty. Um, I got it down. Um, just sometimes I'm like, all right, just hope everything's good. Yeah, trust me, I know. And I was just playing around with some static feed. Um, but yeah, I had a conversation with a few of you, so a lot of it is what I'm thinking. So God, I want to do some more testing and doing some more live testing with you guys, and then you guys will start to pick up on exactly what I'm talking about. I can't say. It's coming to a theory really quick. I mean, faster than I thought it would. I know a lot of people will get so pissed off, but I'm not the only one that's coming to a lot of conclusions. So anyway, it'll all come out soon enough. Well, let's just put it this way, Carl. Um, God, I want to play something for you guys. I want to play you guys a very interesting clip. You know what? Fuck it. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got to share this with you guys. Um, let me see. I'm trying to cue this thing up, so just give me a second. Okay. Stop it. Oh, okay. So let me do this. Just bear with me for a second. I know this is taking a bit. Okay. I just want to make sure that you guys will be able to hear this. But I think if I do it, let's see. All right. So it's B. It's this one. Okay. All right. So I have it queued up. So in this clip, hopefully you guys will be able to hear it. Well, one thing I'm not going to say. Um, one thing is going to be pretty obvious. Um, but I'll tell you something after I play the clip. All right, I want you guys to tell me what you hear. And then I will disclose something that will just be mind blowing. So let me go ahead and play this. Hopefully, it will come through. Hopefully. But let me go ahead and play it. You guys ready? Just give me thumbs up. I'm waiting. All right. Let me make sure that's queued. Whoop. Whoop. I'm playing it again. Okay. Go ahead and tell me what you heard. And I'm going to blow your mind. You need it again? All right. I'll play it a couple of more times. Let me see if I could turn this up too. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn it up loud. Okay, there you go. All right. So in that clip, there was a little sound like a little boy, and it was funny because in that same location, I had an attachment of a little boy for probably over a year. Um, and well, it was like he giggled and then ran away. But I was kind of pissed off, like when I went through the review, um, because I was like, God damn it! I wish I would have fucking taken that clock out because it was interfering with, because I caught a couple of EVPs, and all I heard was that clock in the background. So that same night, um, we took a break, and that was the first recorder I went through because I had like 5 recorders going. Um, so I pulled out the memory card of that recorder and pulled it up, and when you pull up a recording in a diagram or in a audio program, you'll just see a flat line. Like when there's hiss, it's just a flat line. And then anytime you'd see, because I'd throw it through some through through an audio spectrogram. So basically, it would show like what frequency the audio was coming through. So I saw that, and there was some spikes. Can you hear? Is there static in the background? Oh, it might be. You know what? I know what it is. Sorry. I still had that channel open. Should be fine now. Sorry about that, Carl. Um, so anyway, during that clip, um, and then plus I have fans going on and because it's so fucking hot in here. Anyway, so during that clip, when I was going through the audio, yeah, but it might be the fans in the background. I have fans going. It's like 100 degrees in here, seriously, literally. Um, yeah, no, it is the fans. There's a fan literally right behind me. I'd have to turn it off. Um, so anyway, so when I was recording, when I was doing the, like during the break, I was going through some of the audio and it pissed me off because I was like, um, oh my God, I would have fucking known that that clock was there. Um, when I put the recorders up. And the facilitator is like, Rob, what are you talking about? And I said, listen to this. So I play the recording back. And he said, where was this recorded? And I told him. And he said, no, that's impossible. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, there's no clocks. There's no working clocks in the building at all. He said, there's a clock there, but it doesn't work. And so I played him the recording and he just shook his head. He said, nope, that's impossible. So he said, come on, let's go. Tell me where the recorder was or show me where the recorder was and I'll show you. So we walked in there. We walked into the room and I just like froze and I was like, wait, it's silent in here. And he said, that's what I'm telling you. There's no working clock. And he said, the only clock here is right there on the mantle. So I picked up the clock, turned it around, and it's just an old clock. Doesn't run on batteries. And he said, Rob, it doesn't work. So I even tried to wind it, because it had a thing where you can wind it, a key. He's like, look, you wind it, it's not going to work. So I tried to wind it up and the key wouldn't even turn. He said, the spring's broken. That clock doesn't work. And I was like, holy shit. So he said, not only did you get a child's voice that other people have heard, and they always hear children playing in that. It's basically it's a parlor, but in Spanish it's called a sala, or living room. He said, yeah, that's where that was. Um, so I'm like, huh, I caught a glitch in the matrix. And then we're kind of like laughing. So yeah, it was just kind of a trip. So people, every time I play that clip, they're like, dude, all I hear is a clock, because you can hear the kid in the background faint. I mean, I could hear it when I'm playing it through my headphones. And then another clip within that same 5 minutes, it was a baby crying. And he told me later that there was a baby crying in that room. And I said, oh, is this it? And then I played it. Here, I could play it again. I could play the baby crying. See if you can hear it. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I got to turn that channel on. Hold on. So that clip, so both of those clips happen in a span of like a minute and 45 seconds or maybe 2 minutes. And the rest of the time, because I had that, I can't, that clock came in, like I said, within about a minute and 45 seconds. And then the rest of it was silent. It was weird. Um, and that's why I was like, what? That's why I was so pissed. Um, but then I was like, wait a minute, why is the rest of the recording was over an hour? So and that never really occurred to me until after I went through. Because I saw it in the graph and then I was like, I mean, I just heard it and I was like pissed. But I didn't go through the full footage because I just saw that and then I just heard the clock and that just kind of set me off. Then then when I went back and I was like, wait a minute, after he said that to me, and we went back and then I went back to look at the rest of the audio footage. I was like, wait a minute, why is the clock, like you said, the clock only, lasted for what, a minute and 45 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. But the baby crying and that little kid was only not even a minute long. They happened like back to back. It was weird. And then the rest of the footage was just silent. So it was just kind of a trip. Um, but that was like when we started talking about um like AI, and we've been talking about like glitches in the matrix, when we started talking about all that, and that this clip was recorded back in 2011. Yeah, it was 2011. It was recorded in October of 2011. So like when we were like talking about like glitches in the matrix and stuff, that's kind of like when I was like, wait a minute, I have something that is kind of along those lines. So I started going through a lot of my old footage, and then I came across this and I said, wait a minute, I have something that can kind of falls along those lines. So I started looking through some of my footage and then I was like, where's that clock? Which recording was that clock on? And then I found it. I was going through that this week. So and the funny thing is like I didn't really care about like the baby crying in the background. Yeah, that solidified somebody else's experience. Um, but and then the kid coming up and doing that, but um what do I make of it? I just think it was just we captured a period of time that was something that was residual. It was just something in that environment. And that's just brings me to to this one case that I talk about all the time. Um, Nobody died in this. Um, there was a fire in a family's home. The father of the house, ran up the stairs um, when the house was in fully engulfed to get the two girls that were upstairs. Um, Brought them back down one at a time, and people still they rebuilt the house. They sold the house, and the current residents smell smoke. They see the father running up the stairs, coming down the stairs. Um, Sometimes they see him running up. Sometimes they see him running up and down. Sometimes they just see him running down. But they still smell smoke. They still hear the girls screaming upstairs. Nobody's ever died in the house. It's just something that was, um, it's just like a psychic scar in the house. Um, and then people still see it, but nobody's ever passed away there. It's just something that is residual in that location. So it's kind of cool. Um, I mean, I've smelled the smoke when we did the investigation, and I went into that investigation blind. I told them they were telling us that they had some paranormal experiences with um, the new homeowners. So that's when we went in, and I told them I don't want to know what goes on here. We want to come into it blind and want to see if we can figure out what's going on. Huh. That's kind of cool, Carl. I mean, it could be something like that. I mean, because, energy is trapped in a location. I mean, it's like if you've ever been in a home where there's a lot of violence, um, and you walk into a room after there was a fight or after there was an occurrence. It's like when people say, "God, it's so thick in here, you can cut it with a knife." That's basically what it feels like. I mean, I've been into somebody's house where a friend of mine, his girlfriend was very violent, and he called me up to come over one day while she was packing up her stuff. As soon as I walked in, I was like, God damn, what the hell just happened here? Because you can just feel it. It was like really bad. And he didn't tell me what happened. He just said, Hey, I need you to come over. Um, and I said, Okay, I'll be right over. I said, What's going on? And he said, I'll tell you when you get here. And as soon as I walked in, you could just feel the tension. It was really bad. So it could just be something like that. I don't know. So, I mean, this is just getting down to, a lot of the research that I've been doing, other research that I've been talking to people about. So, this is why I'm doing so many different experiments to see, what it is that, especially with some of the experiments that we're doing now with ghost boxes and stuff. I just want to see, what are we really experiencing? I mean, what's going on? And I know it's kind of scary with, what's going on with AI and stuff. Um, I mean, but it's fascinating to me. And just with a lot of things with it, I don't know, there's just so much going on. It's just making things pretty interesting. It make you try to figure out what's really happening. What are we experiencing? So anyway, with that said, we can do some box sessions if you guys want. I just wanted to share some things with you guys. Um that's exactly what we've been talking about. And this is why we've been doing some experiments. I have been, like last week, well, Wednesday, we did an experiment to where I just wanted people to listen to what's coming through and write down questions and see, or even write down responses that you're getting. Let's see what's coming through. Um, and I was hearing a couple of things, and um, but when I did listen back, I mean, I don't really want to give it away, but it was kind of interesting just listening to what was actually coming through. Um, it's kind of a trip, but I don't want to say because there's still a lot more research I want to do. A few more, a few more tests I want to do to hear what's coming through. Um, so anyway, um, yeah, we'll go ahead and try a couple of things. I mean, it's kind of a cool, it's kind of a trip. Um, like with me personally, I have always been, I have captured so much audio, um, because that was me. Anybody that knows me, anytime I'd go out to investigate somewhere, how I conduct an investigation, everything is recorded on audio. Um, I had at least a dozen recorders, and I kid you not. Um, I would carry at least a dozen recorders, sometimes more. And yes, it's a pain in the ass listening to all of those, but we did. Um, a friend of mine, she was an audio engineer. So when she kind of showed me a trick on how to set the recorders, how to get everything kind of synced up. So when we did go through, because I was showing her how I was going through all my evidence. She's like, Rob, you're doing this all wrong. You're going about it the long way. She's like, you can get through it a lot quicker. So, um, So she showed me a couple of tricks, and she's the one that taught me a lot about audio, because I mean, I was always a video person, and I did have to sync up. I used to work for a large format theater company. When I say large format, that's IMAX. Just didn't want to say the name, but so when you have to sync up audio and video, it's very, very painful. Um, so anyway, um, my background was always video, and then I was starting to get into audio. Um, and then working with Skywalker Ranch. That's LucasArts audio company. They would do a lot of the audio producing for a lot of films. So I was working with them to try to get some things going. Anyway, that's just wanted to give a little bit of my background. So anyway, so she was teaching me a lot about audio and how to go through it pretty quick. And that's why when I was talking about the clock, when I went through the footage, like after that, because I just saw part of it and I was pissed off when I heard the clock. Anyway, that's how I went through that footage so quick. Anyway, long story short, yeah, so I would just go through hours of audio footage from from any investigation I did. So I was always an audio person. Um, and then that's kind of what got me into ghost boxes. But anyway, so yeah, talking about somebody hearing one thing and somebody else hearing another. No, that's absolutely correct. And this is where audio pareidolia comes in. It's like anything else. It's very, very difficult, because you can get a group of people and everybody will hear something different. And this is why I've been conducting these experiments. And thank you for your comment, because Helen, that's exactly what I've been trying to get at is, everybody might hear something different. And so I've been playing around with some audio where there's no audio coming through. It's all static. And that's what I've been playing around with, or white noise. And when you do that, it can sound like voices. I'm not gonna, but is it actual voices coming through? It might sound like it. You can play with the tone and the pitch, with a lot of that. So I started playing around with it a little bit, and that's what I was doing tonight and last night. And I started changing the frequencies on a lot of it, and it was kind of a trip. Exactly. And it does sound like water, but then you could change the pitch and the water turns into sounding like a voice. So yeah, it's kind of a trip. And that's exactly what I'm saying is it truly voices, or is it what we think our mind is telling us is a voice coming through? And it's funny because if you sit there long enough, this is something that I was doing, like I said, last night and before I started the show. That's why I was a little late starting the show. And this is kind of why I'm like afraid to even start speaking of this, because I know a lot of people get offended by it because there's other people doing this. Um, and I don't want to offend anybody, but it's just doing research. And that's the thing. Like I had a conversation with a few people. Why is it that people get butt hurt when why do people get butt hurt when they might post something and they ask for somebody's opinion? You give them your opinion and they get offended by what you're explaining to them. I don't understand that. What's helped me in the field um, was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, um, I was working for a wireless speaker company. So I was new to the business, and one of my projects was, well, when I was hired, because I didn't get, or I was being trained on what can cause audio dropouts from these wireless speakers. Like you're listening to audio, the audio cuts out, or the audio would just totally like stop playing. It would just stop. Then it would start playing again, and then it would. Sorry, my camera's screwed up. Oh, I my this camera is has gestures, and I just did a gesture and it changed. That was weird. I did a hand gesture and it focused down. Um so anyway, so I did some research on what can cause wireless interference. Um so I had a bunch of equipment, like paranormal equipment, like um I had a K2 at that time. I had K2s were fairly new on the market. Um I had a millimeter, I had a bunch of different EMF detectors. So I said, wait a minute, I have some equipment that I can use for this project. So I started writing stuff down. Like started writing things down, like, okay, this, set this thing off, this set off this, I started taking a bunch of notes. And I took my notes to one of our engineers at work. And he's like, Rob, how are you getting all your data? And I told him, and he said, why don't you bring in your equipment? I'm kind of interested. I was like, okay. So he was looking at stuff and he was laughing. And I said, what's going on? Why are you laughing? And then he said, so he just started teaching me about IR interference and what can cause IR interference and things like that. And so anyway, that kind of started me up on basically debunking things when, when equipment would go off, or people would introduce new equipment, whatever, and I would just kind of like, okay, whatever. But that kind of helped me. Um, that kind of just helped me debunk whenever something would go off. It would start getting me guessing. So anyway, paranormal equipment back in 15 years ago, it was fine. But now there is so much that causes interference with so much, with 5G, with everybody carrying around a cell phone nowadays. There's just so much that can cause a lot. Anyway, it's just kind of crazy. What's up, Ashley? No, you didn't miss anything. I'm just jibber jabbing. No, exactly. I mean, but there's so much more that I don't know. We'll get into it more. There's just other people out there that are like minded. So it's just kind of funny. It's kind of cool that other people are kind of stepping out and being more vocal about things. And people do get butthurt. You had a long weekend. That's good. How's your bartending gigs going? So if anybody has any experiments that they want to try, um, feel free. Yeah, feel free. Um, no, exactly. But see, people get pissed off when you debunk stuff. And that's so sad. People don't want to hear the truth. Like Helen said, people don't want to hear the truth. They do. They want you to agree with them. Absolutely. But it was like years ago. Oh, that's cool. Congratulations on that. Uh Glad you came on also. No, absolutely, Marianne. Um oh, that's so sweet. No, you're absolutely right, Helen. It's tough. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, when I got into the paranormal, I mean, the field was very, very small. It was a very small community. Um, UCLA was one of the first universities that did have a parapsychology department. And it's funny because I knew one of the guys that was part of that department, and he worked on a huge case back in the 70s that turned into a movie called The Entity. And we talk about that case when I see him sometimes. So, anyway, back then, the only cameras that we had were Polaroid and 35 millimeter cameras, or the instamatic cameras, or the little Polaroid cameras that the film. It was kind of weird. It was 110 cameras. Um, and then back then we would just carry around um a compass, and I've talked about that. So if you want to see something that is mind blowing, and I think I talked to you about Deb about this, when you're holding a compass in your hand, because you'd walk around with the compass flat in your hand like this, with a flashlight, looking, or if you were in the dark, most of us didn't. You were never in the dark when you were investigating. Most of it was in the evening or in the afternoon. And the lights were always on. I don't understand people walking around with the lights off. But when you would start seeing the compass needle spinning like a top, um, and then you'd be like, "What the hell?" And then the needle would just stop on a dime. I mean, that thing was just like spinning like a fan, and then the needle just stop on a dime. That was freaky. I've actually dropped it, one time before. Damn it, camera, stop. See my hand gestures. So yeah, the first time it did that, I dropped the compass. It's only happened to me maybe 3 times in my life. One was during a poltergeist case, and that was because of a young girl. She was about 12 years old. Um, she was having a hard time with her grandpa passing. She didn't want to believe it, and she was causing all the poltergeist activity. And during that, I've talked about this, where a lamp flew across the room onto the floor and just smashed into pieces. That was kind of a trip. I mean, I've had some UFO experiences. I'm not going to lie. I've had a couple. But anyway, so do you guys want to do a box session? I don't know what you guys want to do. I'm just chatty. I just need to get some things off my chest. But no, I mean, it was like what you were saying earlier, or what we were talking about earlier. Um, it's kind of funny when you're playing around with different frequencies and it's like, okay, what is my mind telling me what this is? I almost kind of wanted to just start one up just so you guys can see when you're playing with it how it does change and your mind does start telling you it is voices. And you do actually, it's funny when you, like I was saying earlier, when you do listen long enough, you do start hearing things. But is it your mind like telling you what it's saying? And is it like, wait, I'm here? Like while I was playing with it, it started sounding like a male and female arguing. And then I started hearing words. But then I'm like, okay, is it really two people talking? Or is it what I'm trying to piece together on what they're saying? And the longer I listened to it, the more and more it did sound like they were talking and arguing. And I was hearing cuss words. I was hearing her calling him a stupid idiot. And then I was hearing a few other things, and then it changed. And I was like, um, it's just kind of weird. I was like, what the hell? Is it my mind playing? Is it trying to fill in the blanks? Is it trying to make sense of what's playing? Um, it was just kind of a trip. It was weird. I don't know. I kind of want to try it and just see. It's kind of a pain though. It's just kind of loud. That's the only thing I'm afraid of is hurting your guys' ears. No, okay. So, Chrissy, you're absolutely correct. Um, I talked to some other people that um, I've talked to some other people um, that have actually been on a paranormal show, and he was like, him and I were talking off camera, and we kind of said the same thing. And he's like, Rob, he said somebody can have the most absolutely incredible, footage. I wasn't there. Um, and somebody else can take it totally out of context. They can totally see it and say, "Oh, this is bullshit." But he's like, I wasn't there. He's like, I don't even want to see anybody's, he's like, after a while, I just got like numb. I don't even care about seeing somebody else's footage. I don't care about if I wasn't there, I didn't experience it. I don't care. He's like, nobody else is going to take away that personal experience that I had. And that was a personal experience that was just, for me or my, with people I was with. People else can outside of that can see footage and not see what, or it doesn't tell the whole story of what we experience. And he said after a while, it's like I don't even care anymore. I just, whatever happens with me, it's like it was just my personal experience, and that's it. And it was like I was telling somebody, um, um, like this. I got within 45 minutes. We're invited to. Well, we had to out somebody out. And this is a big producer, film producer. He produces a lot of horror movies. So he called up and he said, "How quick can you get down here? Um, we have to try to find answers for one of his actors." So we're like, "We can be down there in 45 minutes." So we got there. He's like, "You guys have an hour to get me some answers." Um, so we did. And within that 45 minutes, we got 3 apparitions on camera. Um, we showed them what we saw. This actor, she was telling us what happened, and I showed her the footage, and she said, "Holy shit, that was who I saw." And we saw him walk out. He walked down the hall, dropped. Literally, it looked like he dropped through the floor, and all of a sudden, it turned into like a ball of light, and all the lights were on. You see this ball of light, like just fly right by us. It flew past us and made like this weird sound. And I had it all on video, and I showed it to other people, and they're like, "That's not real." Um, they're like, "That's photoshopped." And I'm like, "No, it's how is it photoshopped when I had the timestamp on the video recorder? I had the timestamp, time and day, and you play it back and you still see the timestamp rolling. If you put it through an editor, you'll still see every single frame has that timestamp." I was like, "There's no way you can take that out." Anyway, um, no, is and I can't convince anybody otherwise. Um, and I don't have that footage anymore, but it was cool. But I know what happened, like what my buddy told me. It's like, "Rob, that is gonna be with you forever." And I said, "I know." And I was able to help out the actor and lead her to believe, like, look, nothing's gonna happen. He was probably just trying to get your attention. And I talked to her later that night after her performance, because we went to the performance later that night, and I talked to her after, and she said, "What you guys did, and when you guys took me outside and we talked," she said, "you guys made me feel comfortable to come in and do my job." So it was kind of cool. She was playing a kind of like the fortune teller, like in the movie Big. So like the Zoltar machine, she was a fortune teller inside this machine, this box, and basically pushed the door shut and locked her in there, and kind of freaked her out. Anyway, all right. So let me go ahead and try this. Let me pull up some stuff, and we're going to do this experiment. See what you got. And I will play around with the adjustments so you guys can hear the different frequencies. Hold on. Oh, the graph won't be up. but I guess that's okay. I'll just play the audio. It's just going to be an experiment. So, and I'm going to have to be on the back end playing around with stuff. What? Who are you talking about, Chrissy? All right, let me see what I can do here. So many steps. Oh, wow, that's crazy. All right, let's see. Where is it playing? Oh, crap. Oh my God, is this thing not working? What's the issue? Uh, I'm still. Can you hear me? Um, I'm still working on it. Still doing it. Let me try something else. Hold on a sec. Where? Is it working? You see, when I change the pitch, it changes the voice. Okay. I could change it to I was going to say I could change it to a different screen so you guys can see me playing with the frequency, or we see when I change the frequency, it sounds, the voices start changing. Uh, I don't know, Chrissy. We might have to talk about that. We can figure out a way. If she's looking for answers. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, it sounds like I didn't play it for a long time because I know it gets a little annoying. But if you play it for a while, see, like there, it sounded like a woman. But if I keep on playing with it, it'll start sounding like a male and a female. Um, I was playing with this for hours, um, and then I just sat there and listened. And like I said, it sounded like two people arguing. But then the female was talking for a while, and then the male would start talking for a while. It was weird. Let me start it back up. I'm gonna play around with it a little bit more. All right. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy. And that's just all from static. It's just white noise coming through. and then I'm just running it through some filters and changing it up. So you see what I'm saying is it's like, is it our minds telling us that his voice is coming through? And this is what, you guys ready for some really super loud noise? Get out of here. This is going to be so painful. This is what it sounds like raw before I run it through audio filters. Stop it. I don't know if you guys heard that. My bad. All right. Have fun. I'll see you guys later. Or Amy, I'm sorry. See you later. Oh, shit. No, that's that. But see, that's exactly what we've been talking about. So when we're listening to ghost box sessions, is it we're trying to hear snippets of audio and we're trying to fill in the blanks? Like, are we hearing Christian and we think it's saying Ian because we're catching the last two syllables of the word? So this is what we've been talking about. Like, okay, when we're doing box sessions, are we actually getting answers to what we're looking for, or are we trying to search for answers? Are we trying to fill in the blanks of what we're looking for? That's why we're doing what we're doing. We're trying to figure out answers. So Christy, so what's going on with never mind. We can chat offline if you like. You can always just message me and we could chat about it. I'd love to help you out. Anyway, no, it's all good. So what did you guys think of that? I just want to What, Buffy? What are you talking about? So what did you guys think of that? What I was just playing and changing up the frequency. Did it sound like people talking to you guys? Just want your opinion. That's all. I mean, I had a crazy experience. I used to listen to um yeah, see it does sound like words, but all it is white noise being filtered. Um that's all it is. Um so I used to listen to um I had a white noise generator, but then it also had a couple of um like there was one of beach waves, um another one of surf, um so there was just one that was beach waves, like calm beach waves. Another one was like stronger, like waves breaking. Um, and then there was like another one that was like water dripping, kind of like rainfall. And then there was white noise, brown noise, and pink noise. But I used to listen to the waves one, and I was woken up in the middle. It was like on the Sunday morning early. I thought it could have swore I heard a little girl talking. Um, and I was kind of like half asleep, and I know I was. That's what it sounded like I was hearing. And then there was a bump at my end of my bed, and I looked, and I could have swore I saw a little girl. Now, was that my mind playing tricks on me? Is it something that I was thinking I was hearing and seeing? I don't know. I mean, it seemed real to me. And it was weird because at that same time, um, I was doing a lot of box sessions in here, and there was a little girl coming through a lot. Um, so it's kind of weird. Looking back, was it my mind playing tricks on me? Was it something I was thinking about in my subconscious? I don't know. It just kind of makes me think sometimes. Yeah, it's what do you mean? Was she bound with short hair? I mean, I've had a lot of experiences. I've had a lot of experiences here. Oh, blonde. Um, she was blonde, and her hair was in pigtails. So short, I couldn't tell you. I'd probably say, if I had to guess, probably past her shoulders. Carl, are you still around? So, Chrissy, so what's going on with never mind. I better be quiet. You're leaving, Buffy? All right. See you later. Who's still here with us? I can play another audio. Play some more audio if you want. See, it says shoulder length. Because the one that I saw was blonde with shoulder length hair. Um, and she was in a floral dress. I would probably say, probably like from the 70s. Peace out, Buffy. I'm being feisty. I was drinking a little bit though. Not too much, just a couple. Oh my god. Why am I still up? I know like tonight was all over the place, but I just wanted to give you a little heads up on what's going on, what I'm doing. Trying different shit. Yeah, I know I was shit faced a few times. Okay. When was that? Was that recently? Uh, that's been a while. I kind of missed it. Oh my god. I did a few. I did do maybe a couple last earlier. Was it earlier this year or last year? I know New Year's we've done a few. Oh my god. Yeah, I think Christmas. Oh yeah, we did do one on Christmas and on New Year's, and then but even before that, we did a few. Oh my god, that was so much fun. Sorry, I'm just yawning, getting tired. Oh my god, we might have to do another one day. You know what's funny? I've had like crazy EVPs, like even doing just recording in general, um, doing video shoots. But it was weird because they were in um in they were either in like my voice or whoever's voice I was filming. It was weird. And I know um that I didn't say that or they didn't say that. Um because a lot of times, yes, even though I do cuss a lot, I do um I do try to not to cuss at all anytime I'm doing like some serious filming or um anytime I'm serious. I I don't cuss at all. And what was said like during this one shoot, there was no way I would ever say that. Um and when we went back through, we are doing some editing, we went back through um and we heard it, and the person I was interviewing said, "Rob, you weren't even talking during that whole shoot." Yeah, we haven't done the Zoom in a long time. I know when I'm drunk, I do cuss a lot. I do know that. Um, but believe it or not, I mean, because, I have to talk to customers all day, or when I have to call one of my customers, I have to be professional. So I know, a lot of times I don't even cuss on the phone unless it's somebody that I know. So even though I want to like yell at a customer and tell them that they're full of shit, I just can't. Or when they piss me off, I want to just freaking tell them off. I have to bite my tongue and just listen and get quiet. Anyway, you know what? Oh my god, I just snorted. um, um, I haven't played any of those sounds in a long time either. I must be getting tired. No, but Christy, I mean, no, seriously, I would love to hear what's going on and try to help you out. Ashley disappeared. I guess that fan is loud in the background. But it's helped out tremendously. For sure. All right. Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys anymore. I'll get off of here. And it was fun. It was a good chat. I don't know. I think everybody got quiet. It's okay. It's all good. All right. Good night, Deb. Deb, it was good chatting with you the other night. Well, it was daytime for you anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you were recording on your cell phone and picking up the landline? I just didn't understand. You can just reach out to me. We could chat about it. Oh, that's crazy. That's weird. Something to do with the frequency. But anyway, all right, night, guys. I'm going to get off of here and I'll have to check that out. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming on and joining me. It was fun. But I will chat with you guys later. Have a great rest of your weekend and be safe. All right. Night.